Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I know it's been a minute. I've been trying to make a video for quite some time now. It's just I've been busy and I like to procrastinate a lot, and that's pretty much all the excuses I have, and I know y'all don't really want to hear that, but it's fine because I'm ready. So I decided for my first video I would sit down with y'all and kind of explain. If y'all know me personally, you know I've recently moved out of my house with my parents and I live on my own now. So I just really wanted to sit down, explain to y'all how I did it, my whole experience, my journey, and all of that. I do know a lot of people with 17, 18, 19, 20, around the age range, they kind of try to move out on their own, and it's just not really what you expect. So basically it all started, I was a freshman at Alabama. It was my first semester, and if you know me, I wasn't really a big fan of that school. It just really wasn't for me, to be honest. I just didn't have a good time. So after my first semester, I knew I wanted to move out. I wanted to transfer schools. I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of nervous and scared that I wasn't going to be somewhere I really wanted to be. You know what I mean? I was just nervous that I was gonna make the same mistake. I didn't want to do that again, be somewhere I didn't want to be and be miserable and stuff like that. So I decided to take a semester off, kind of really figure out what I wanted to do, and now I'm here. So basically, I want to say October, November of 2018, I kind of got in my head that I wanted to move out. And I'm a very indecisive person for the most part. So that's why when I first started thinking, oh, I want to move out, I want to live on my own, I was like, okay, Taylor, shut up, you're lying. But it just kind of stuck with me for a while. And so after a couple months, I told my parents about it, and they were kind of they were kind of confused. They didn't really know what to expect. Also because, I said, I always change my mind. So they're like, okay, Taylor, whatever. Like I said, I finished my semester at Alabama, but then I moved back home and took a semester off. So in beginning of January 2019, it was still in my head that I wanted to move out. It was just something I kept thinking about. And I was like, all right, why don't I just try it? You know what I mean? So I booked a flight to Houston. My mom came with me. We came down here, looked at apartments, and now I'm here. So like I said, I'm just super indecisive and spontaneous. So when I say I don't have a reason for why I moved down here, I really don't. I literally woke up one day and I was like, I'm moving to Texas. And a lot of people ask, oh, why'd you choose Texas? Why'd you do anything? I don't know. I don't have an answer why I moved here. I don't have an answer why I moved in general. I literally just did it. So I was in January, and then I would say end of March, I applied for an apartment. I got accepted, and my move-in date was in May, beginning of May. So then I moved down here in May, and that was pretty much that. Now I'm just gonna answer a couple questions that y'all have asked me. I wrote them down just so I didn't have to keep looking and stuff. First question is, do you live alone? I do live alone. It's just me. Well, I have a dog now, but when I moved down here, I lived alone, and yeah, I guess I still live alone other than him. What's the hardest thing that you've had to deal with while moving out so young? I don't even know if I mentioned, I moved out at 19.
I'm 20 now.
I just turned 20. But yeah, I moved out at 19. Honestly, the hardest thing I think I've had to deal with, it hasn't really been hard for me personally. I think it's definitely different for everyone. So for me, I've always just kind of been more of an independent person, I guess you could say. So yeah, leaving my friends and family and stuff was hard, but I went to school 14 hours away from home, so I really kind of just got used to it then too. I don't know, nothing has been super hard on me. It's just realizing a lot. It's not I've ever just been oh my god, it's so hard, or anything like that. It's just I guess the hardest thing that I have dealt with is just realizing how much you have to pay for that you don't expect. Yeah, of course, when I moved out and when I was moving, I knew oh, you have to pay rent, you have to pay bills, all that, but you just don't realize the stuff that you have to pay for. I never just pictured myself buying the things that I buy now. It's just dumb stuff that you never really have to worry about because you live with your parents. Your parents go grocery shopping, your parents buy Windex, your parents buy this, your parents buy that. You don't have to deal with it. So it's it was kind of not hard. It was just oh, kind of a wake up call. Oh yeah, you have to go get this. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say anything has been super hard for me. It's just dealing with things. You know what I mean? Adjusting and adapting to new things that you have to do. Why did you choose Texas of all states? Like I said, I don't have a reason. I swear, People really think I have a reason for why I moved out and why I chose Texas, but like I promise I don't. Like it was so random. Like I don't know, all the rappers talk about it in their videos, so I just said, oh, I'll come here. It sounded cool, you feel me? Like, oh, H-Town, let's go to Houston. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, it was kind of like, I was kind of debating between like Texas and Florida, but like Texas, I heard like it was just like, it was fun for one, and two, like it was cheap to live in Texas. I don't know why they told me that, because they lied. Do you like Texas or Pennsylvania better? I like Texas a lot better than Pennsylvania. I really love Texas. Like I like Houston, I like Texas in general. It's just the people just aren't for me, but I'll get into that like later on. Like it's just a bunch to explain, but definitely Texas. Like if you're from Pennsylvania, obviously, which like a lot of y'all probably are, like that are first watching this, like there's nothing in Pennsylvania, especially from York. Like ew. What do you miss the most from your hometown? Definitely my friends and my family. Like I said, I'm from York, Pennsylvania. There's really nothing to miss there, like at all. So just definitely my friends and my family. And I can really go home whenever I want. Like if I want to go home tomorrow, I can just book a flight, go home. I mean, I can really see them like whenever I want. It's just like a longer what is it called? Like a much harder process, I guess, to see them. Like my friend, for example, like she moved like 5 hours away to a different state, but like it's 5 hours. Like you can just go home on the weekend, and you know what I mean? It's just a different case. It's just like everything is like just a process here. It's like annoying, but it's whatever. Was it hard moving away from your friends? Definitely, yeah, like of course. I mean, moving away from your friends that you've grown up with your whole life, you've been friends with for how long, like it's super hard. But like I said, it wasn't even like I was trying to get away from my friends or anything. It was just like the area, it just wasn't for me. It's really not for anybody. Like everyone that lives in yours, they're like, ugh, I hate it here. Like it's just not a place to be. But I definitely miss my friends like all the time, but it's whatever. Like you gotta deal with it, you know? Have you ever gotten homesick? And if so, how did you deal with it? No, I've never really gotten homesick here. Like I said, like you need to calm down. Stop it. I've never really gotten homesick. Like I said, I went to school far away. Now I live far away. I've never really been the type to get homesick. Ever since I was younger, like I've just been away from people. It was like whatever. Being here, it has definitely taught me how to be alone and like really enjoy your alone time. Like back when I was back home in Pennsylvania, like I think I would want to be a homebody so bad, but like I'm gonna go out, you know what I mean? But now, like literally, like living by myself, it just made me realize, also because I don't really like the people here, but I just never want to leave my house for one. Like I'm either at work or I'm at home, and that's it. Like I don't really do anything else. I went out when I first moved here, but like I'm just really over it now. But yeah, like I just really hate leaving my house now. If you don't mind me asking, how much is your rent and how are the expenses with living by yourself? Okay, so this is like a major thing that I really wanted to pinpoint, just because I don't think people realize how expensive it is moving out and living on your own, especially at a young age. Like, why did I do this? I don't know. Let me start with this. I'm a waitress, I'm a server. That's all I do. That's literally my job. I just work at like some sports bar, you feel me? Like that's all I do, and that pays the bills, pays the rent, everything. So that's what I do. I know a lot of people ask me like, oh, what do you do to afford it? Like that's all I do. Like it's nothing crazy. It's a little bit harder to prove your income when you're a waitress or a server or anything that gets you tips, you know what I mean? So basically, when I was applying for my apartment, they wanted me to have like 3 months rent and utilities, then bank, and they wanted an offer letter. It's a little bit harder when you have a job like that, but like it's definitely doable. And they just like want you to have good credit and stuff like that as well. So the main thing is they wanted me to have 3 months rent and utilities in the bank, and like at first I was like, that's a lot, like for what? Like, you know what I mean? But now like I definitely understand it, and I really wish they would say like 6 months rent and utilities, because I really don't think people understand how expensive it is to move. Moving down here alone, I spent like probably about like a little under $1,000 just moving here. Like I'm not even here yet. So I drove down here for one. My car's gas sucks. So I spent like probably about like $500 in gas. It sounds so much, but like had to get down here. I stayed in a hotel for one night just because it's a long drive. I can't, like, I gotta sleep. I had to eat, and it was just like expensive. Also, I had to turn on like my internet and like my electric and just make sure everything was good and running like before I got down here, like by the time I was here, so I could have Wi-Fi, so I could have air conditioning because it's hot here. That alone, it was just like a lot of money up front, not even mentioning like your security deposit or like your application fee for like the apartment itself. So I think that's one thing that I was just like not stressed but like overwhelmed about, just because like it's so much money up front that you don't realize that you have to pay for. And then when you get down here, you need furniture and you need to go grocery shopping and you needed this and you needed that. It's just a lot. Yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? And thankfully I was able to do it, and I'm glad I can, but it's just like, why did I do this? You know what I mean? How much is your rent, if you don't mind asking? I think it's funny when people are like, if you don't mind me asking, like, it's cute. So I pay $10.22 a month. That's just like my living situation, so that doesn't like include like my like my electric or like internet or like gas or groceries. And that's another thing, like I'm the type of person, I can't just be okay living, paying my rent and my bills and that's it, and then just keep doing it. Like I know people that I work with are like, oh, like my rent's due on Friday, I have to make this much money tonight. I could just never be that person, and like if you are, that's fine, but like that's just not for me. Like that's just so miserable for me. Like why would I want to do that? Just paying your rent and your bills and then just doing the whole thing over like every month. Like it's just like, why would you want to do that, So I always like to make sure that I have, like, obviously I have like my bills paid and everything, and then like I like to have extra money just because like I need to get my nails, I need to get my lashes, I need to get gas, I need to go grocery shopping. I have a dog now that needs to go to the vet, like he needs food. Like it's a lot, to be honest. And yeah, and I think that is like my biggest tip and advice for anybody that does want to move out, whether you're 19 or 29. Just make sure that like you're financially ready. Not even financially stable, because like when does that even happen? But like just financially ready, because I had no idea how expensive it was going to be to like live on my own, but I mean, I'm used to it now, but it was just like a wake-up call for me. So I would just definitely make sure that you're ready in that aspect of things. Also, make sure you're ready like mentally and stuff, mentally, emotionally, just because it's different. It's hard sometimes, whether you live 2 hours away or 22 hours away. It really just depends on like the type of person that you are. Like I said, like I chose to move out by choice. Like my family life was perfectly fine. My parents and I got along. Like I didn't have strict parents. I didn't really have any rules. They kind of let me just come and go as I please. Like if I wanted to come in at 4 a.m, who cares? You know what I mean? So like it was just completely my choice. So if you, I just know people are like, oh my gosh, like I'm fighting with my parents, I need to move out ASAP. Like it's not that easy, you know what I mean? But like I said, it was my choice, so I'm not mad at it or whatever. But I think there's just a lot of things that people don't realize that they need to, you know what I mean? What have you learned from this whole experience? Pretty much like I just said, just really just making sure you're ready, like with everything. Like that's pretty much it, just making sure that you're ready. Life is, living on your own is just a lot harder. Not hard, I don't want to say the word hard, because like I don't want to like discourage anybody that wants to do it. It's just like it's very eye-opening. You just don't realize it, you know what I mean? Have you ever wanted to come back home while you were living there? Funny question. So I actually am moving back home. So I'm actually glad I kind of waited to do this video, just because if I would have done this video like a while back, my answer would have been completely different. Like 3 months from now, or 3 months ago, I would have been like, no, I love Texas so much, like I'm never leaving, like I could never come back to Pennsylvania. But honestly, it's not that I want to come back to Pennsylvania because I miss it so much, because like I love it. It's really just, it was an experience that I chose to do, and it was cool. I had fun here, but it's time to go. So it is gonna just kind of be hard to explain, just because Northerners and Southerners are obviously very different, for those of you who don't know. It's just kind of hard to explain, just because like I am from the North and like now I'm living in the South. Like, it's very easy for me to understand, but I try to explain it to my friends all the time, and like they're just like, what do you mean, how's it so different? Like, it's just the people, it's just very different. Like, the people are very different, the atmosphere is different, like their lifestyle is different, and it's just kind of weird to adapt to. Like, I just don't, it's just too slow for me down here. And if it wasn't slow, then I would definitely be here, because like I said, I love the city I'm in, love the state that I'm in. Like, people just aren't really for me, and that's pretty much that. Do you like living alone? Yeah, it's cool. I think a lot of people that do come from like a strict household or anything like that, and they have a lot of rules, I think it would just definitely be different for them, just because it's so, you're so free, like you have all this freedom. For me, it's not much different from living back at home, like I said, just because I didn't have so many rules. I was really able to do whatever I wanted to, which I'm grateful for. Like, thanks mom and dad, like, you know. But it's honestly not much different, and I think that's why it's just kind of like I said, it was a great experience and I don't regret anything at all. It's just like, when I came down here, I was expecting to go back to school like this past fall, and I didn't, just because like, well, I just had like a bunch of like school problems anyway. So I was supposed to go to school back in the fall, but honestly, like, I just really just miss being a college student, like a regular ass like college student, you know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't have to move out. I put it on myself. So I just really don't feel like doing it anymore, as far as going to school, working, paying your own bills when I really don't have to. You know what I mean? I have a great support system at home that I can just go back to and go back to school. I would just always see like my friends post like all this stuff like about like college and stuff. I'm like, that should be me right now. But instead, I'm living an adult life, which I said I'm completely fine with it. But it's just like, it's just what I miss, you know what I mean? And I want to go back to it. So that is why I'm moving back. But yeah, that's how I moved here. It's how I did everything. Why I'm moving back home. It was a good experience, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think that's all for this video. If y'all have any questions y'all want to ask me like personally that I didn't get in this video, because I got like a lot of questions, but a lot of them were the same, so I didn't put them all in here. But like, if y'all have any questions that like personally you want to ask me or anything, just like DM me on the gram, you feel me? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'm really open to doing any videos that y'all want me to, so like, just let me know what y'all want to see. I have a lot of content coming your way. So yeah, I hope to see y'all soon in my next video. I'm trying to end it, but where's the thing? Hold on.